Good morning, everybody. Today is Tuesday, December 16th, and we have economic data coming out right now. Weekly unemployment change, 16.3 thousand. Let's see what average hourly earnings month over month, down 0.1%. Core retail sales up 0.4%. Non-farm employment change up 64,000, so that was an estimate was 51,000, so that's up. Retail sales was flat. Unemployment rate went up, and we have PMI manufacturing coming out at 845 with. Let's see what else. That's it for the rest of the day for today. So let's take a look at the broader market, see how they're responding to that data right now, positively, nicely. Let's start with the ES, as we always do. So ES right now, still holding the 50-day SMA at 68.5178. That was a big level for us. Right now, currently, it is rallying above yesterday's close at 68. Let's say yesterday's close, it was 68.81, so we are pushing higher right now, but we'll see what happens, how it reacts after the first 15 minutes. Good morning, Anthony. How are you, pal? Let's see. So going over current levels right now, we are above December 8th weekly low of 68.64. That's good. We're approaching this 68.96.5 level. That was a low set last week. I think it was last. It could have been last Thursday, I believe. So we'll see if we can get through that level, or if we get a little rejection off of that level and it pulls back. Before I forget, hit that thumbs up button, subscribe to the channel if you're not a current subscriber, hit the more button, and join the Discord community for live trading from 8:30 a.m. to 10 a.m. Central Time. Let's see here. So current levels right now, it's important we hold the 68.51. This is the 50-day SMA aligned with the 20-day SMA. So that was set back November 20th. So it's good. We're holding those levels right now. In order to continue to push higher, we're going to have to regain that 68.96.5, and then the low from FMOC from last Wednesday, 69.07, in order for us to push higher. If we take a look at this regressional trend line, we are above the lower level of it. So we bounced right off the lower end of it. It's yesterday's 68.28 and after hours, so we're still holding that level, which is good. We're getting a nice little push. It's a 4-hour chart we're looking at right now. So hopefully, if we can get above that 69.07 level, we push higher, and we actually regain the 69.30.25 level. I think we can push into the high from the FMOC from last Wednesday at 69.5675. And if we can recapture that, then we're going to move into the midline of this regressional trend line set up in here at about 69.6773. And then, of course, if we can regain that level right over there, then we're pushing up into the 7,000 range by the end of the year. Actually, we're going to have to get above, what high is that? We're going to have to get above Thursday's high there at 69.88. So we'll label that Thursday's high, just make this red. And that's okay. So that's your level on the upside. If we lose these lower levels, let's get down to a little micro view here. So if we do lose, I would say if we lose the 68.60 level, if the market pulls back today, this is a weekly low set from November 17th, then we're going to pull back, I think, into this, the 50 and the 20-day SMA. And that's going to be a big level to hold. And if we lose that level, I think we're going to push back down into this lower regressional trend line and then try to test that high set, the weekly high set back in October 13th, which is 68.21. And then if we lose that level, I think we're going to experience some downside, probably push lower, and probably come down and try to test this 100-day SMA set down here at 67.41.31. That's on the downside level there. So we'll see if we can, it's starting to wick right now. So it seems like it's starting to reject a little bit up here at these levels. So we're going to see how the market reacts as the day unwinds. So let's get into the NASDAQ. The NASDAQ has been weaker than the ES lately because it's so heavily tech weighted. It's 50% versus the 30% on the ES. So you can see right now it's starting to reject this weekly low of 25,370.87. You can see that's also the lower end of this regressional trend line that I have here. Let's see. So you can see until we can get above that 25,370.87 and this lower end of this regressional trend line, the longs are not going to be in. But if we do regain this level, I think we can push back and maybe retrace this big sell-off that we had yesterday and push back into that 25,666. And then if we regain that level, I think we can push into this 25,645 first. And then, of course, if we can regain yesterday's highs at 25,668, then we're going to push into that 25,784.25. So let me just label this like I did with the ES. Yesterday's highs, 12. Okay, red, good to go. That's the push on the upside. On the downside, if we lose, let's go into the 15-minute. If we lose on the downside here, this 25,203.25, I think we're going to try to test the weekly low setback in November 3rd, 24,960.75. And then if we lose that level, I think we're going to try to test this weekly high setback in September of 24,620. So let's just zoom out a little bit here. Let's go into the hourly. So there's not much holding this. This is all very wicky right here. So if we lose this, there's nothing holding it up. And I think we come back down. If we do lose this level at 24,960.75, I think we're quickly going to come down here and try to test that 24,620 level. And then below that level, let's see here. And then if we lost that level, then we're definitely going to come down to that 24,160. I hope we don't see that. It's definitely trying to push higher right now. It's looking like it's trying to stair step, but it's wicking pretty hard off this lower regressional trend line here right now. So we're going to have to see how the day unwinds. We could be done with this pattern here. This is an ABC pattern that's setting up. So you have your A pattern right here. Down here, here's B, and here's C coming down. May have one more leg to the downside, hopefully, before we get a little support, start pushing higher. I would not want to be long until we regain this low of 25,370.87. You have to respect the downside right now. Don't be the first one of the party on the upside. That's it for the broader markets right now. Let's get into Tesla from yesterday. We had a nice little move on Tesla. We got our breakout yesterday. Thought we were going to get the new highs. Did not get the new highs yesterday. I have this is a gap up that we had yesterday. So we are, it kind of came down here, respected a little bit pre-market right now. So I'm still respecting this level. We have, if we go to our clean point of controls, we do have an open point of control that was set here from Friday. So those of you that are new to the channel, my point of controls I have if the market closes, and this script that I have here, it sets an automatic point of control where it shows the heavy volume price average, and it plots it out for me. So after the market closes, if it doesn't come back and touch this level, I leave it open because it's typically a magnet that comes down and tries to retest that level. So We have that level set from Friday at 454.25, so I leave it open until it gets hit. I would not be surprised for Tesla to pull back today. I would not want to be long Tesla unless we regain this 474.40 level, which is a pre-market high set back in December 25th of 2024. You could see it's rejecting it right now in pre-market. So that's a big level for me. So I am not looking long until we get above that 474.40. The other longs that I'd be looking for on Tesla is if we do pull back, maybe the first long I would look at. You could look at maybe this 463.01, which is the weekly high of last week. Below that, 458.87 is the weekly high of the week before. And then the beautiful long that I would love would be this between 452.65 and 452.25. Now, this 452.65 was that level that we had as resistance for the longest time, and we finally broke above it right now. So what we would consider this, we have it green. So if it breaks and then it comes back down here, this would be considered a break and retest. And obviously you want to see when the market comes down to this level, if it gets down to this level, see how it reacts to take your longs to maybe push to the upside. I'm still very bullish on Tesla, even though Tesla very easily could pull back 20, 30 points today before we move higher. It's that volatile of a stock. You have to be, cautious. And just because you have a bullish bias doesn't mean that the market can't pull back on you. So you have to trade what you see, not always what you think. Let's get into the 5-minute opening range trade. One thing I want to clarify, I had some comments on the 5-minute opening range trade. I made a video yesterday, and I talked about a different setup on the 5-minute opening range trade, where it came later on in the day, and I took a trade. It was about 9. I would say it was right about in this area right here. I took a trade. I took a small scalp. We got over that high of 479.38. And it made about 50 cents of premium. I had a 40-cent stop, so it was a 1-to-1 return on my money right there. But the one thing to understand, when the term of this trade is a 5-minute opening range trade, it doesn't necessarily mean you take it on the first 5 minutes of the day. 5-minute opening range means that the range is set in the first 5 minutes. That's your first part of the trade. You need the range first. Then your next part of the trade is when you're going to take the trade, when it breaks that range one way or the other. And then you have to identify at what point do you want to take that trade. Do you take it on the first break? Do you wait later on in the day, take it on the second break? Do you have different levels that instead of waiting for the break, you take it at a certain level? When it broke and held this 474 level, and you could get long here and take it through the break and make your money that way. There's all different ways you can orchestrate a trade around the 5-minute opening range, right? So there's many different ways to do it, and the more you watch this trade, the more you watch a stock and its own equity, you see the price action, you see the way it moves, and your brain starts to recognize certain price action. And the reason why we do a 5-minute opening range trade, why? Because the volume in the first 5 minutes of the day is the heaviest volume of the day. So look at this volume that you had in the first 5 minutes yesterday. You had 7 million shares traded in Tesla the first 5 minutes of the day, right? And so the next big volume that you had was on the close yesterday, and you had another 7 million shares. So aside from the first 5 minutes and then the last 5 minutes of the market close, those are the biggest volume trades of the entire day. That's why you base your trade off of the first 5-minute range, and then you can base your trade strategy off of that. So that being said, my strike prices that I have for this week, I'm still keeping a 490 strike price, which expires on Friday. And premium price closed at $5.55, and we are below the close of $4.75. So I anticipate this premium price is going to be cheaper than where it closed yesterday. And I'm going to have the 450 puts, so that's still quite a bit of ways where we're at. So I anticipate, because we are currently opening up lower than where we closed yesterday, that this should be a little higher. We're only about $3 or $4 away from the close yesterday. So, however, this premium price should be a little higher on the put side because as the market goes down, your put premium goes higher, and then the call price, as the market's going down, your call price should go lower, just as the inverse of that. If the market's going up, your call price is going up and your put price is going lower. So that is what I'm going to go into today. However, as the market moves during the day, I could change my my strike prices on both the calls and the puts, depending on how much movement we get in the strike price. So again, hit that thumbs up button, like this video, subscribe to the channel. If you're new to the channel, hit that more button down below so you can hit the link of the Discord community and join our community for live trading that I do every morning from 8:30 a.m. to 10 a.m. And please don't be shy, leave the comments, positive, negative questions. I don't care. I'll be glad to answer them. That's how we build the community. Thanks, everybody. Have a great day, and I will see everybody in the trading room. If I don't see you in the trading room, I will see everybody tomorrow.